Welcome back to IXION, where I have spent around 120 cycles, and as you can see, the population sector has definitely taken shape. Thank you all so much for your feedback. I kind of went with a middle road here, so I did do these cycles off camera, because basically what I was doing was just adding more domotic housing here, moving the cryo center down here, firing it up, and done a little bit of work in the other sectors as well, removing some houses. You might be wondering why I have insect farms here. The reason for that is that those three actually enabled tier 2 food specialization. So this is currently bugged because that +1 stability sector benefit, it's not here. In Sector 1, I've cleaned up even more, added a second polymer refinery. These are going to go away because we're going to move those into the industrial sector. And speaking of the industrial sector, I've also severely gone down on housing here. As for the plan for this episode, before I continue with what I have done, I intend to, yeah, you can see I've mined a bit of nodes here. I intend to finish up the event here and allow the storm to move. And next, I think we are going to head on down to Croc P-38. And we might finish, or we might not finish, Croc P-38. As in, we'll do all the chains there, but whether I will allow the science ship to depart, that's the question. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that in this episode or if that will be in the next episode. Depends on how efficient I am. As for other things, I have done some science yes, of course, talk difficult. What I have done is in the steel mill, I researched the panel purification, and that was so that I could go to the waste treatment center and research the magnetic separators. So the panel purification is quite nice as is, even though I'm drowning in alloys. So and there is so much iron. And on top of that, we have the self-sufficient stuff from the waste treatment center. But 10 iron produces 15 alloys. Nice. The magnetic separators reduces the cost of waste for alloys from 50 to 40, which means we are even more self-sufficient on alloys. Then in the solar panels, I did the adjustable panel orientation, which increases our bonus from 5% to 7.5%. And I'm guessing we are going to get the vacuum-resistant lubricant and probably also the self-cleaning systems. This before we go into the storm. And then finally, under the cryonic center, I did research the controlled thermal shock and the group decryonization. So our production speed on our cryonic centers is now up to 66%. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the post-decryonization treatment, but the reason why I did get group decryonization is because it is a requirement for the smart homes upgrade under crew quarters. And I really want to increase the capacity of housing to 60% instead of 30%, because that will make our population sector even more powerful. Another thing that I have done is that in the population management, you can see that these sectors do not really have that many people anymore, because these are only workers. All of the non-workers and colonists are now residing in Sector 5. You can see there is 1,390 population here, of which 1,009 are non-workers, 135 are colonists, and 246 of those are workers. So we are basically, in most of the sectors, we have very, very good margins on the workers. I could move, and I probably will move, some of these workers over to Sector 6, but I want to have the population upgrade on the houses first. With that said, let's unpause the game and let's finish the collapsed food production district, and we need to pay attention to these nodes here. Just a word of caution, if you do get these nodes and these nodes, do put them on avoid, because for some reason, even though these are outside of the storm, sometimes the mining ships will go on this side, and even on this side of that one is sufficient that your mining ships will die. I actually had to reload because of that, because I didn't want to lose my tier 2 mining ships. So yeah, just a word of caution there. Let's see here. How does the storm move? Leave the wreckage of the food production district. Yeah. We're going to pause again. We are going to click avoid on these 2 hydrogen deposits. I started mining that, just storing it in the population district. We're going to click avoid on these. And we're also going to click avoid on these. As you may have noticed, I have mined all of the nodes. All of my mining ships are in storage currently. And I'm only using cargo vessels to bring in the resources. And it's not like we lack stuff here. Okay, so Maxwell, go to Crook P-38, please. And yeah, that's another thing that I haven't mentioned. You need to let the Tiqqun stay at the destroyed command center if you want to do these 3. Because you power up the via the what's its face? Retractable telescopic pole. That gives power, so you can actually do things here. So if the Tiqqun is not present in these location or in this location, you'll only get the option to leave when you send a science ship to any of these 3 points. I think it says so, but just so you're aware. It says something about in the event text that you need to let the Tiqqun stay at the destroyed command center. I've also tried sending probes down into the storm. That didn't work very well. The probes died like 4 centimeters within at most. So this storm is kind of more vicious than the storm in Chapter 2 was.
The science ship has arrived at its destination.
Okay, so we have arrived at Crook P-38. Now, let me just have my notes handy here. 2 seconds. There we go, sorry about that. So, Crook P-38. Here we are going to get these options here. 3 real options and 1 just leave. That will move the storm. We are going to perform a topographical analysis. If you are interested in knowing what all of these do, I plan on making a Chapter 3 guide for all of the POIs today. So that might be on the channel tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, let's go with the perform topographical analysis here. And go back into the Tiqqun. We're full on iron, so we have to switch this. Actually, I think we need to stop them from gathering altogether, because we are also full on silicon. And yeah. So you can see I have prepared stuff for polymer. And I have 660 polymer hanging around doing nothing. So we shall go into the Tiqqun exterior view as well. And we shall build another set of solar panels. I think we might even do 2 sets of solar panels, but I don't want to queue them up because of hull integrity issues. This place here I kind of reserved for either legislative strengthening center, which I don't think I'm ever going to need, or alternatively a fire station if we get fires. This sector here will have a little problem if we get fires. This spot here is reserved for the same, either a fire station or a legislative center. And for some reason I am completely unable to get this sector to tier 2 population. Even though I have all these buildings and the mess halls, which I built just to see if I could get the points. In addition, the alternative life center also provides population points. So I'm kind of baffled at how much do I actually need to build here. This one too provides population specialization points. I might have to research the DLS center thing, and we might have to build cell housing to get tier 2, because I really want to get tier 2, because what tier 2 does is that all of the stability buildings in the sector will provide 1 additional stability. Means that this one will provide 1 additional stability. This one, when powered on, will provide 1 additional stability. That's 2. I'm not sure if it applies to the DLS center, but if it does, then it's +3. So, yeah. We need more cryopods. I keep clicking that when I want to do fleet management for some reason. Okay, so here we are starting to run low on, again, starting to run low on ice, but we are collecting ice, so that's fine. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in this sector here. I might end up making this sector, wait, that's not the right one. This one is
A
better.
science ship team has completed a task.
Might end up using this sector as a storage sector.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
That's not ominous at all. Now what? Administrator, we have been in the Theta Crucis system for too long. Well then. I've literally done 2 POIs, and we already get the -1 stability penalty. I'm sorry that that picked up on the recording. Most of it didn't, but I hope none of you got shock out of that. But yeah, that's not a problem though. We'll deal with it. We can turn on the alternative life center to get this sector back into happy. This one is now in neutral. That should be fine, really. This one is in neutral as well. Should be fine too. And this one is in happy, so it should be fine. We got +5% trust, so. And the main trust comes from the population center population sector being happy. 2 seconds, please. Sorry about that. Just my throat being. I think I swallowed wrong. Okay. Transmission from the Maxwell's team. This is the Maxwell crew. The signal was transmitting from an abandoned subterranean complex. By breaching it, we have unfortunately allowed the corrosive atmosphere of P-38 inside. We'd estimate that the complex was built within the last 20 years. We do not recognize the iconography on its exterior. The technology inside does seem human-made, and there are signs that it was once inhabited. There is still a little time before P-38's corrosive atmosphere eats through the Maxwell's hull and landing gear. We do not think we will be able to explore the entire site, but we have identified several places of interest. We have the tank room, we have the command center, and we have the field operations area. We are going to investigate the... let's see here, the tank room. The team has located a large room within the complex containing numerous empty tanks. They will collect residue samples and carry out technical analysis to ascertain what the tanks were used for. If we instead did the command center, it would say an area of the compound seems to have served as a computer and logistics center. By inspecting the various terminals, the team may be able to learn more about the facility's former occupants. And finally, the team has discovered a large hangar that appears to have been used for ship storage and maintenance. Examination of this area could tell us more about the purpose of the P-38 complex. But yeah, the tank room first. I think we can tear these down now. Power this thing on, and then start exporting carbon minimum to sector 2 maximum. Good. So we'll have to empty out that docking bay. Send carbon over there, and that will be sent into this sector. I might actually keep that little stockpile there, because using one sector to pull in all of the resources we need, silicon, iron, and carbon, with 3 cargo ships might actually be a tad overload on the sector. Yeah, I also had to power down some of these because I wasn't producing enough waste. I seem to be producing more waste now. They're all set to make electronics, which is why we have a ludicrous amount of electronics. Since we produced 2 instead of 1, thanks to the recycling tier 2 bonus with no tier 1 bonus with 30% more resources. The game seems to round up a lot of things. We're also left with just 3 domotic quarters here because we don't need more. We can still have more workers here. We have 70 research, so I think we'll go in here and research the smart homes, which will further allow us to remove even more houses in the worker sectors. I also almost have fulfilled the requirement for batteries. It's only sector 2, and getting sector 2 to fulfill that purpose is really simple.
Hull integrity below 50%.
Yeah. It's basically just turning these off.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
That's all we need to do. So the solar panels are almost done, so I don't really see the point of pausing the construction. I expect that with the later solar panels, the highest tier ones, we are going to have to pause the construction, unless that's a set number of production cycle. I'm not sure. As a very rare thing, I'm going to turn on this EVA airlock to get our hull integrity bonus up to 85.
A science ship team has completed a task.
We're at 95% efficiency with that, so that's good. The Maxwell's team believe the tanks were used for some sort of accelerated gene therapy. Most of the equipment has been dismantled, but some tank functions were identified. A system for genetic reprogramming, the ability to dissolve organic material into a refined paste, and an application process for said paste to be used as a catalyst. It is unlikely that we will be able to obtain any more precise information about this technology. Ready for extraction, 132 science. Keep in mind that I have plus 10%, so that means this is actually 120. And next up, we will investigate the field operations area. And as soon as the hull integrity is back up to 100, we'll build another solar panel. And you can probably see why I started to collect hydrogen, because, yeah, I think nuclear power is distinctly something that we are going to be needing. Okay, so the research is done, which means that the domotic quarter can now house up to 112 crew members. Yeah, I could potentially tear down one more in that sector. Where I will tear down one, though, is definitely in sector 1. No, 2. And I think we'll take that one down. That puts us at 448. I think we need these 4. Or do we? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40? No, 3 might actually be enough, so maybe we could do some rearranging here and get more happiness into this sector. Though they are happy, but... not sure how I got all the sectors back into happy. I'm sure some of you noticed, but that does... how did they all end up happy again? +2? This was on neutral. Oh, the corpse penalty thing isn't being applied for some reason. That's how. There we go. Now, I don't know how much we need to pick up of the stuff that's left up here. I kind of feel we have ample resources. I'm also going to keep the carbon stockpile here in this sector, because this is where we will be spending most of our carbon. So we will be exporting carbon from this sector to that sector, keeping this stockpile full. I think that also did put me at Industry Tier 2, which means repairs are 30%
team has completed a task.
30% faster. Personally, I kind of feel that is a bit of a silly bonus. I don't like it. The team identified the area as a sealed landing bay, once home to several craft of different sizes. Signs of EKP travel were found, of a type much more advanced than anything we have come across so far. The team also found traces of organic matter and blood. Some of this was salvageable, and sample analysis revealed that several species seem to have passed through the area. Okay. All DNA samples showed some structural similarity to that of humans. It seems likely that this complex was used as a test site for the introduction of species into the P-38 ecosystems. The various integrity sensors of the crew's suits, as well as those of the Maxwell, indicated that it is necessary to repatriate the team. Okay, so it does tell you. Interesting. What I mean by that is if we do this, that's going to end up with people dying. We're not going to leave, so let's just do that. We have 195 science to pick up there. And let's continue doing sciencey things. Let's see. What do I want? The vacuum-resistant lubricant might be nice. This one might actually be worth it now, but again, we are drowning in polymer. Storing 20% more resources, that's 360. Not necessary as of now. Suspended beds might be nice. Docking bay. EKP engine, that's what we want. We want the engine to move faster. That is a definite something we do want. I don't think we want or need these improvised repair things for now. The emergency cryopods, I'm not sure what they do. I would like the dedicated exploration PA. Someone also commented about it, but it says that I need post-lunaclism. Okay, so I need this one first. I'm not sure that's worth it. 65? 110? No, that's not worth it for me. Okay, let's see here. I think we are going to take dome. That can be extended to each sector connected by a train station. Yeah, we're going to take the train station, actually. No, we're not going to take the train station. I will take the train station eventually, but for now, let's get the Stanford upgrade to let the ship move faster in EKP. How are we doing on management here? Yeah, we're doing fine. We can start picking up silicon and more iron. How many workers do we have in here? 319, we need 256. This sector might need more workers, actually. We have ample population space for it. So these 3 domotic quarters will serve as a majority, giving us the +3. And I do have some cell housing up here. Okay, workers, 219. Let's take 19 workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. And let's take 28 workers from Sector 5. No, yeah, Sector 5 to Sector 6.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Let's continue the research on the EKP engine. I'm sure you all realize why I'm researching the EKP engine speed. And if you are not, then you will see. I have good reasoning behind it. But the hull integrity is back up to max, so we can build another solar panel. 275, no problem. Neither is the 6 electronics. And it's time to turn on these. And
Population
this one.
transfer complete.
That puts us at... Yeah, we still have a fairly good... No, this is too few. Let's move another 30 workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Oh, crap, I did crew members. So I have non-workers here now. Only workers. 30. It's not a problem up here because these only have workers, but I didn't mean to move the non-workers. Sector 5 to Sector 6, 28 of those. And then only workers from Sector 5 to Sector 6, 28. Start migration. That's better. Also, having more vehicles in the stockpiles is looking more and more lucrative. Let's also get the Frau's Tachyon injector. I apparently did all that in German accent. Okay, so we're filling up polymer rather quickly here. Good. Do I need to power these on to get the polymer out?
Population transfer complete.
I thought they picked up stuff from the buildings even if they were powered off. No idea. Well, these are busy delivering polymer to this one, so we'll see when it's done. Okay. Ooh, there. Avoid. Don't go there. We have more space here. Don't think we need any batteries in this sector currently. No, we don't. How many cryopods? How many cryopods? 19, that's fine. We can just pick up those and we'll have picked up all the cryopods from the collapsed food production district. As for ice, yeah. We have the Frau's Tachyon injector, so let's continue. I don't know if we need... I mean, I would like the kinetic compensation jacks. We need the shaping worker behavior from the EVA airlock. And we really want that anyways, so let's tell them what they need to hear. I'm just gonna check... Vertical parking. No, I don't think that's worth it right now. Tell them what they need to hear. 5% more hull repair efficiency. We also need to set up polymer exports from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Is the construction speed affected by how many EV airlocks I have on? Yes, it is. Interesting. Instead of 25 in there. Looks like we are in somewhat equilibrium on waste currently. But we're out of silicon. There are 2 ships bringing in silicon. And those 2 nodes are up there. As for the rest of the resources, I believe we are mostly fine currently. I could set up... I keep clicking that. I could go pick up more carbon. And actually, let's do that en masse. Okay, this is turning into a meme. Dismantle. Not much waste going to be produced in this sector now. It's going to be from the houses and from the tech lab. I don't think any of the others here produce waste. This sector should have absurd amount of housing now. 3,248. Sector 1 might benefit from a couple more workers, so let's send 20 workers from Sector 5 to Sector 1. I mean, this is where we're thawing people, so we should be all good on that. Oh my god. For crying out loud. Okay, so the kangaroo is done. That means we can unassign it. How about the other sectors here? I'm not going to start importing raw materials like iron and stuff, only to have it having to be ferried across to the other side of the Tiqqun. I could use this sector as an intermediate with this inactive stockpile here though. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking about this sector, because I'm going to end up with a lot of space here. When I tear down this as well, I can move things out of the way, and the large stockpiles should be 6 by 6. They might be 8 by 8. But my point is, this is an excellent location for storage, and with the docking bays load and unload resources 30% faster bonus, that's definitely not a bad idea. Dismantle that one as well, please. We're actually full on alloys. As are we soon going to be on electronics. Did not expect that. Although I can always balance the electronics out more into the sectors.
Population transfer complete.
Since I only have 20 stored in the other ones, we have ample space for more electronics, but I didn't expect that to happen. Okay, so they are picking up stuff. I kind of would like them to prioritize these nodes here, because I don't know where the storm will move next. Although, I think we are fairly safe. Leave. Okay, close the game. Avoid. I wish I could do this on a mass scale thing instead of having to do it one by one. Avoid. 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 It's going to be annoying to turn all of these on again. These ones, avoid. Avoid. And avoid. And these also need to be on avoid now. We're basically in a position where we cannot pick up more resources than what is here and here. And of course we have enough ice, so on that one we're good. Maxwell, you can move on to... Oh, sorry about that. I hit the microphone boom. You can move on to... Let's see here. I wrote this down somewhere. What? Yes, please don't remove that. We can go to the industrial sector next, I think. This storm is nasty, but you can see that there are areas down here that's starting to clear up now. Come on, guys. Get it away. So we're limited down to that. That's fine. Let's try to fill up these stockpiles before we move the storm any further. Research. We have maximum EKP engine research done. I could get the reinforced steel cladding, which would help a little bit while we're moving the Tiqqun. But this one is nice. These are nice as well, but they're not necessary as of yet. Yeah, I think it'll take predictive behavior modeling, followed up by total monitoring. That one might not be needed. Sector 1, here we are, shut down. Up to 790 power, that helps. If we want to build more solar panels now,
The science ship has arrived at its
it's
destination.
275. So,
An accident
okay.
has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Industrial Zone Wreckage coming up here. Let's see, that should be... Where do I have that? I have that here. Scans have detected large quantities of steel around what appears to be wreckage of the Etemenanke's industrial zone. Transmission from the Maxwell's team. We have arrived at the ruined industrial zone. The view is intriguing. In addition to the general debris and bodies that float everywhere, there are large piles of previously molten metals that have solidified when the area was exposed to the vacuum of space. The zone has been ripped open and much of the interior appears to have been blown away. The structural tier extends into a storage area full of suspended yellow particles. Okay. Suspended yellow particles. Let's explore the industrial zone. I'm just checking that I'm sorry about the zooming there. Yeah. The Maxwell's team will scout the industrial zone in the hope of finding cryopods and learning more about the ship's production capabilities. So I'm thinking that I'm actually going to have to build cell housing in this sector. I mean, yes, we're at 3,248, so you might be wondering if I'm crazy right now, but I think we are actually going to need cell housing in this sector. The question is where? It has an awkward footprint. Could build it here, but it'll still have me remove 2 batteries. I know there's a little road bit there. So I could build that one of those batteries back. Yeah. Of course, that means I need to move the entire row of batteries. And I'm sure you're all thrilled about that idea. So I shall be doing that off camera. Cancel. We don't have enough storage. Alloys, sector 5. Drop that down to 180. Yeah, I'm going to have to build another temporary stockpile for this.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Oh, they haven't deconstructed. The industrial zone itself is devastated. Both factory machinery and crew were covered by flying molten metal as depressurization occurred. As the metal solidified, grisly monuments were created. Sometimes, all that remains of a body is a cracked metal shell. Cryopods found in this area have either been covered by steel or compromised. Our team was able to gather some information about Yetimananki's production methods. 22 science. Let's investigate the storage area in the hope of finding refined resources, cryopods, or information. And maybe, just maybe, adding this cell housing here will be sufficient for us to get the tier 2 population requirement. That would be nice. I am draining the sector of battery power though. Which is fine for now. I don't plan on moving the Tiqqun just yet, so I'm curious about what to do in this sector here though. That road is redundant because the alloys come from here, so they can drive up there anyways. I think this mess hall up here is going to be sufficient for this sector. Oh, yeah, I'm not... No, it's fine. They will fill that up with food before the feeding cycle ends. Now, in the interest of not having this episode end up being... Let's do this. I want to complete the Industrial Zone Wreckage without leaving before we end the episode, so we'll add a couple of minutes to the usual episode time. I don't think a couple of minutes really matters all that much.
A science ship team
Just
has
checking
completed
here,
a task.
and let's check the sector for ice. Yep, that's fine. The storage area seems to have been the battleground for a large, violent clash. Workers attempted to repel an invader using small firearms and improvised weaponry. Apart from the cutting laser marks across bodies and containers, there is no evidence that identifies the invader. The large majority of the storage area seems to have been emptied, but after some searching, the Maxwell's team located a number of intact cryopods and resource containers. Everything has been prepared for extraction. It's 97 alloys. I don't think we need that. 2 electronics, that's fine. And 188 cryopods. Now let's look for the source of these weird yellow particles. Where can we take in those electronic? Yeah, again, meme. Yeah, we can take it into Sector 1 because there's no carbon left. Neither is there any silicon left. There's just a tiny bit of iron left. And, of course, the cryopods. Why do I not have a cargo ship assigned to Sector 5? Because I removed it. Kangaroo. Start picking up cryopod. Oh my god. Yep. We need to thaw 2,000 cryopods before we are done in this sector. The Ark of Humanity. What a poetic name. So not much left we can collect up there, actually. Storm used to be all the way out here, and now it's all the way in here.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Oh, what a surprise. Nobody could have expected that. I mean, you can go through the game without any accidents at all, so long as you don't put any sector into extra work ever.
A science ship team has completed a task.
The team followed the trail of yellow particles through the vacuum to another section of Etemenanki wreckage. It appears to have been at least partially spared from the destruction we have seen elsewhere. The particles come from the crushed and damaged flowers of yellow squash. A bed of these frozen plants surrounds a large bronze sculpture, a depiction of Earth crowned with laurels. Many messages have been left near the structure, rallying against the perceived enemies of humanity, Dolos and the Ashtangites. A plaque at its base reads, "Against the cynicism that kills hope, against the madness which precipitates hell, to perpetuate the genius of humanity and the memory of our life on Earth." There is a compartment beneath the plaque in which a sealed time capsule was found. It seems possible it could be opened. And let's open that. There is a lot of story in this chapter, that's for sure.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Good. Oh boy. Inside the capsule were toys and other everyday items. Several objects were of unknown purpose. There was a packet of newspaper clippings that revealed some of what happened after the Tiqqun first entered self-similar space. There was a total collapse of Earth's ecosystems, accelerated by the moon's destruction. In response, the United Nations installed a totalitarian government of planetary surveillance to protect the population from eco-terrorists and the continuous waves of pandemics. They prioritized corporate practices that supported the environment and its preservation. Individual responsibility seems to have become paramount. Numerous legal ramifications were implemented to counter any further acceleration of ecosystem destruction. In this time of crisis, and guided by the government, society seems to have turned on politicians, extremists, immigrants, and conspiracy theorists. One after the other, they portrayed them as possible scapegoats, holding them responsible for 250 years of industrialization, market disruption, superficial societal practice, moral decay, and hyperconsumerism. The Etemenanki was to be the great ark, the global project that would save humanity. Only those deemed well-behaved in the eyes of the government would be allowed on board. The Ashtangites, fanatics of mysticism, and proponents of genetic manipulation were left behind on Earth with the deviants and dissidents. Oh boy. Oh boy indeed. I haven't read this before. As I've said, while I mapped out, I have very specifically not read these. So we get 50 science ready for extraction, and we get a new technology upgrade, the self-cleaning lubricants upgrade, unlocked by the Waste Treatment Center. And now we can leave, but I will not leave just yet. Let's see what the self-cleaning lubricants upgrade does. Power cost reduced by 5. That's very useful. We need the deoxidized contacts in the steel mill for that, which is down here. Because -5 on each of them when we have... Well, most of them are powered off, but it's still -20 currently. Power being at a premium. But with that, I think that we need to wrap up this episode, so we shall be doing just that. In the next episode, we will continue exploring the storyline here. I think that I'm mostly, I feel mostly done with the stuff where we currently are, so we should be moving to elsewhere soon. So, if you have any comments and or questions, please do feel free to leave those down in the comment section. I hope this episode was to your satisfaction. And if you don't have any comments or questions, then as per usual, just leaving a little emoji down there is also greatly appreciated to appease the YouTube algorithm deities. For now, again, I hope that you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you all in the next one.